Calibrating cybernetics.
Talk to him now.
AT, Andre.
Come on, Dre.
Yep. Trippin with Let's Go. Woo! Trippin with Theobold.
What's your name?
Theo so bold.
Yeah.
Driggity. Let's go. Trippin with Theobold. Trippin.
What are we doing?
Trippin with Theobold.
Come on, Dre.
See, mic check 1 2. We on? Let me make sure I'm on so y'all can hear me. Because I'm still getting used to the technical difficulties. Let me just double check to make sure everything is A-OK. Let me just make sure we are A-OK. And it sounds like we are A-OK. Hey, what's going on, y'all? And welcome to the 79th episode of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold. And as you can see, we back in the classroom again. Because we're going to do some learning. Right? This is for our learning. All right? So before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. But yeah, we just gonna go ahead and get right into it, man. Yeah, as you guys could tell by the title of the episode, today's episode is Confidence and Curiosity. Yeah, we gonna go in, because I've been thinking about this for a while, and I got like a little mini platform to come and talk my stuff. So I'm gonna talk my stuff. And if you notice, I didn't cuss yet because I'm not at the 2-minute mark. So when I get at 2 minutes, I'm gonna be a little more free, unless YouTube changed up the algorithm or some shit. But what I cussed, damn. Come on, Dre. But I'm at 2 minutes and 6 seconds, so hopefully the algorithm isn't that tight. You know what I mean? Because I heard that if you cuss within the first 2 minutes of a video, they just bump your joint down. And it is what it is. But no, we just gonna go ahead and get right into it. So as you guys know, I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. So today's episode is tied to none other than. Here we go. Yeah. Over here doing my thing. Here we go. Today's episode is tied to none other than Mr. Ruben Brown. Ruben Brown. Now that's a big name in the Buffalo Bills community. Played during the Flutie era. He was I believe he was a left tackle, right? Yeah, he was I didn't realize this, but he played through like a transitional period, right? Like he was one of the few Buffalo Bills that went to the playoffs, and we were like borderline being a great team, and then we fell off, and we kind of fell off and became, the bottom dwellers of the league. Hold on a second, let me do something right quick. I don't like how my computer's doing this. Just give me 1 second. Let me just do this. Go back to the okay, there we go. We back. Mic check 1 2. We back. Okay, cool. Let me just make sure I'm not sounding like a Decepticon in this joint, man, because my audio always, like I said, I don't want to be streaming garbage. You know what I mean? So let me make sure I'm sounding okay. Okay, we good. All right, but nah, Ruben Brown, he was one of the players that played during the Flutie era, right before we were like about to make a Super Bowl run. And then he was on the teams that wore the navy blue. So as you see right here in this image here, Ruben Brown is wearing the classic 90s Buffalo Bills uniforms, the 90s playoff. But this is like in the year like 99, 2000. But when we made the Super Bowl runs, these are the uniforms that we wore. But he also wore the navy blue uniforms, the ones where we never made the playoffs in. So shout out to Ruben Brown, number 79, Buffalo Bills, episode 79. So that is that. And let's go ahead and get to the tongue twisties. All right, let's go and do these tongue twisties, man. So today is the 14th of April. Shit, I almost forgot what month it was. Damn. Today's the 14th of April. So we're going to read these tongue twisties. Let me make this a little bigger so I can see it. So we can all see it. So we can read along if we want. So here we go. Excuse me. N. So N is the 14th letter of the alphabet. So these are the tongue twisters we're going to do. So here we go. Number 1, Nick knits Nixon's knickers. Nick knits Nixon's knickers. Nick knits Nixon's knickers. 99 knitted knick-knack knacks were knitted by 99 knitted knick-knack knickers. Yeah, I don't think you want to be white reading this. This joint is it's a lot of close words here. 99 knitted knickknacks were knitted by 99 knitted knick-knack knickers. 99 knitted knickknacks were knitted by 99 knitted knick-knack knickers. Number 3, 9 nimble noblemen nibbled nuts. 9 nimble noblemen nibbled nuts. 9 nimble noblemen nibbled nuts. Number 4, 9 nice night nymphs. 9 nice night nymphs. 9 nice night nymphs. I said nymphs. Nymphs, because PHF. And last one, never noticed the 9 K9s near noon. Never noticed the 9 K9s near noon. One more again, never noticed the 9 K9s near noon. Excuse me. Man. So those are the tongue twisties. We got those out the way. So that's that. So now I'm over here navigating, so bear with me. So now you can see my face again. So now we back. Let me go ahead and do some we're gonna do some quick promotion right quick. You know, so shout out to one of my comedy bros, Jeff Horse. Real funny dude, man. Jeff Horse is a real funny dude, man. He's been on, or he taped a couple specials, half-hour specials. Jeff's a real funny dude, man. So yeah, we were out networking last night. I ran into him. It's always a pleasure running into my brother Jeff. We always have deep conversations about the game, the comedy game, you know. And now we were out chopping it up, man. And it's funny because like we kind of had like the same struggles almost, you know, like when it comes to the social media game, you know, you gotta have some skills, you know. So we were kind of talking about how we gotta trade information and trade off. Like it's like we know what problem we're trying to solve, but the issue is we always have to go and like learn a new tool, and the tool might be way more than what we need to even do it. You know, like for example, we're working on trying to add captions, or I'm trying to work on adding captions to my stand-up clips, and there's all these different apps and applications, and they all are like different, you know. But you know, I went ahead and I made the choice to invest in learning Adobe Premiere, because it gives you more flexibility once you learn how to do it, right? So they say, you know. Plus, I mean, I need to just be up on my video editing skills, because you never know. It's not just about the product, it's about how you deliver the product, right? So you know, it is what it is. So no, we were chopping it up last night, and we were kind of talking about all those things, and he found out I had a podcast. So I said, you know what, let me go ahead and plug his pod. He has 2 podcasts. He has 2 podcasts with his girl, Esther Navarro, I think it is, believe. Yeah. So I don't know her last name, but I know her. But he has 2 podcasts. One is called That's My Shit, and it's a pretty interesting pod. You go check it out. And then he has another one that's titled We're Freaking Out. So go give his podcast a listen. Go to his IG, man. He has a lot of like just funny clips, man. It's a real funny dude. He got this he has a funny Scooby-Doo bit, man. That joint is hilarious, man. So I'm not gonna ruin the joke. I'm not gonna do it, but you guys go check him out. You know, you guys will probably enjoy the bit, you know. So shout out to my man Jeff doing things in the comedy world, you know. So you know, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing right now, right? Like right now, I'm just figuring it out as I go along. You know, like I don't know this OBS stuff, but I know enough to do this, you know, so that's what I'm doing, you know, and that ties into today's episode, right? Curiosity and confidence, right? Curiosity and confidence, you know, that's why we in the classroom, because we talking about learning, you know, curiosity and confidence. So I've been like, this topic has been in the back of my mind for the longest like time. All right. Before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. But yeah, so let me just make sure, because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything of what I'm saying, because I want you guys to make sure you hear me clear, because this is a really important episode for everybody. You know, let me just make sure this is doing what I wanted to do. 1 second. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. All right. Cool. Okay, we sounding crispy. Okay, we sounding good. So let me go ahead and just get into it, man. Curiosity and confidence, right? So to me, you know, I'm a rebel, right? I guess I'm a rogue individual, you know, but look, I can talk free because I'm at 12 minutes. I don't fuck with school. I fuck with education, but I don't fuck with school, right? Those to me are not the same thing, you know. Education is the process of teaching yourself how to learn, right? And school is an implementation of education, and it's not a very good one, but it can always improve and it can converge to that. But school is not education right now, right? So to me, in my experience with academia, you know, in my experience with academia, from grade school to middle school to high school to college to grad school, you only need 2 things to be successful in education, or when it comes to teaching yourself. You only need 2 things. And those 2 things, you guessed it, curiosity and confidence. That's all you need, right? And no one can teach you confidence, and no one can teach you how to be curious, but people can take away from that shit, you know? So to me, the biggest problem in schools is schools, in my opinion, not as a whole, right? Like I'm actually going to go down and get more granular, right? But my experience has been the majority of my teachers have taken away from my confidence and my curiosity, right? Like I don't expect teachers to like a teacher can't teach you confidence, right? Like no one can teach you how to be confident, and no one can teach you how to be curious, right? Like that's some shit that you want. That's some shit that you should want on your own, but they should encourage it, you know? So before we embark on this conversation, we have to kind of ask ourselves, you know, what is confidence, right? All right, what is confidence, right? So to quote a book, you know, from The Confidence Gap, you know, there are 2 definitions of confidence, right? There's confidence, the action, and then confidence, the feeling. All right. So to give an example of that, if you have to get brain surgery and you go to the world's best brain surgeon, you're not going to feel confident in having any type of brain surgery because it might not go well, even though he's the best, or even though that person is the best brain surgeon in the world. But it's in your best interest to trust that brain surgeon because he's the best, right? So that the action of you trusting the brain surgeon to do brain surgery on you is the action of confidence, but you don't feel confident because you just don't feel it, right? So one of the rules in the or the main rule in the confidence gap is the actions of confidence come first, where the feelings of confidence may or may not come, right? The actions of confidence come first and the feelings of confidence may or may not come, right? So if a teacher taught me that back when I was in middle school or whatever it was, I would be eons beyond where I'm at now, you know? But at the end of the day, you know, people can do things to make you not feel confident, right? So let me give you a few examples, right? Like my thing is when it comes to teachers, I don't expect them to give me, or I don't expect them to add to my confidence, if that makes sense. But I also don't expect them to take away, right? So you can either take away from someone's confidence, you can do nothing for someone's confidence, or you can encourage someone's confidence, right? So let me give you some positive examples, right? So when I was in grade school or middle school, Miss Jones, right? Miss Jones, my fourth grade teacher, she encouraged confidence, right? And she stressed it, you know? So for example, the way she did it was if she asked you a question in class and you responded with the correct answer, even though it was correct, if you responded with the correct answer, but you didn't sound confident, she would say wrong, or she would just look at you. And throughout time, you had to realize that, look, if I'm going to give an answer, I'm going to be confident in the answer I give. Like, for example, if she was like, Andre, what's 2 times 4? If I said 8, she would be like, are you sure? I'd be like, I think so. Okay, then wrong. It's not it. Right? Like, she'd rather you give a wrong answer with confidence than to give a correct answer with no confidence, right? And that was huge, you know? So Miss Jones, she had like 2 things in her class, right? Because here's the thing, right? When it comes to this, and this goes out to all you teachers out there, you know, there's the what you do, or there's the what you teach, and then there's the how you teach it, right? To be honest, I don't remember the what in the majority of my classes, but I do remember how they taught that shit, you know? So, for example, Miss Jones' class, she taught us the subject matter covered a whole lot of stuff, right? She was my homeroom teacher in 4th grade. But the 2 things I took from her class was following instruction and doing things with confidence. Those were the 2 things that I remember, like the back of my hand. Like, it's not even like those things were drilled in me, you know? Like Miss Jones had this thing, I think I told y'all in the past episode, where we used to have to do our math homework, and for our math homework we had to use grid paper, right? And we used to have to count down 3 full squares from the top, and then 4 full squares from the right, and we had to start our name. The first character of our name had to go in the intersection of where those boxes met up at. And no matter how much time you spent on your homework, no matter how nice and neat it looked, no matter how correct it was, when you turned in your math homework in front of the whole class, before like she told you to go sit down, she would count. She would count one. Put it to the side. And then she'd look at you and then ball your shit up if it didn't follow those instructions. And you would see people's face just drop, you know? And that was a powerful lesson, because if you can't follow instruction, then it's like, you know, you're gonna have a hard time when it comes to just doing basic shit, you know? So it was that and confidence, right? Mr. Albright, when I was in high school, my history teacher, Mr. Albright, you know, he encouraged curiosity, you know, like his whole thing was like, he loved history, man. Like he loved, like you could tell this dude just had a passion for just history and just asking questions and reading and doing research. Like he came across as an asshole a lot of times to a few students, but if you were genuine, even if you were fake interested, right? If you came after class, I know a couple of students, they were trying to like BS to, you know, they were trying to play the game, they were trying to finesse the game. Even if they went up to him with a BS question and they were trying to get on his good side or to butter him up, he would entertain it, you know, and really just get into the fact, hey, be curious about what it is you're learning. Ask questions, you know. And I went to a like, you know, growing up, I went to a Montessori school. And I didn't really like, it was weird. Like I went to a Montessori school, but I didn't realize that it was different from a lot of other schools, you know, where basically they kind of just drop you off and you get to explore. You get to go and play around with stuff, you know? So I think that's dope to be able to be encouraged to have a genuine curiosity about your surroundings, you know? So, but then on the flip side, I had some teachers, and I'm not gonna name no names, but I had some teachers that took away from like my curiosity and my confidence, you know. When I was in college, I had a Calc 2 teacher. She took away from my curiosity. Like she killed my curiosity, right? Like I had genuine questions about what I was learning in class. Like I had a question, like for example, we were doing it, it was Calc 2, so we were doing integral calculus. And you know, there are like methods of integration, right? There's various methods of integration. Like you have integration by parts, integration by trig sub, you know, you got all these different methods to integrate under a curve or the volume of a shape or whatever it is. And the way she taught the class was, she said, hey, you know, this looks like this, so I'm going to try this equation, or I'm going to try this method. Oh, hey, it worked. Yay. So a question I had, I was genuinely curious. I said, hey, do all methods of integration work for all problems? And then she just yelled at me in front of the whole class and was like, why are you being so difficult? Stop being difficult. Just do what I say on the board. So back then I was like, man, I was in my scared mindset, right? So I'm like, I'm just trying to do my best and get this grade and get out of here, you know? So I learned from that situation, and students should learn from this, is whenever you're in a class dealing with teachers who are taking away from your confidence and your curiosity, just don't waste your time. Like, if you can drop the class and do another class, just save yourself the headache and just do that shit, you know? But if it's a class you got to take and you can't get around it, man, treat that shit like eating sweet peas. You know, like my grandma taught me, if you don't like something, hold your breath, eat it, chew it, swallow it, and then just go on about your day. Same thing with classes like that. If you're forced to be in a class with a teacher that is taken away from your curiosity and your confidence, or not even a class, if it's anything you're learning, if you can drop it, drop that shit, you know. But if you can't, just stomach it, man, and just do the bare minimum. Do the bare minimum, right? Like I wish that with the mindset and the knowledge that I have now, I wish I like if I knew what I knew now back then, the way I would treat that class is I would have, you know, knowing that I had to take the class, I would have like just stopped showing up to class, because that's just wasting my time. I'm not trying to show up just to get a C, not to know nothing, you know? Like, I'd rather not waste my time, you know? So I should have put my effort into trying to find old exams from her class, and just while she was teaching the class, just go to the library or something and learn that shit on my own and make sure I get all the exams, and then just show up on exam day and just take the exam and just leave, you know? And whatever she says, be like, man, fuck that bitch, whatever, you know, just move on. That's how I should have treated that class back then. But we live and learn. I wasted effort, but that's why I'm sharing my experiences with you, so you don't have to make the same mistakes. But yeah, then there was another teacher I had in middle school. You know, like, I struggled with like speech growing up. I still do from time to time, but there were times when I was in class and it was like I got called on, or you could tell. So basically it was like, how should I put it? Whenever she was bored, I felt like whenever she was bored or whenever she wanted to be entertained, she would call on me to read or call on me to say something, and then watch me struggle, and then kind of like get like a kick out of it. And then try to like sugar it up. You know, she tried to be like, oh, you just got to take your time, baby. I was like, yeah, man, just because you got marital problems at home, don't bring that shit out on me, you know? But that's a that's a whole nother thing, man. I'm not gonna say nothing, but I'm just saying, you know, you can tell when someone is coming into your class or they coming in miserable and they're just trying to, you know, get over on you or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, what's up, babe? Yeah, terrible. You know what I'm saying? So, so at the end of the day, like, how did that help my confidence, right? Like, that did nothing that took away from my confidence. You know what I'm saying? So all you need to succeed, man, from my experience, is curiosity and confidence, man. If you got curiosity and confidence, man, you can conquer anything, man. Like, that's all you need. If you really have a genuine curiosity and if you got the confidence, you know, you can go so much further. Which is why I was saying, you know, when I was in these classes, when I'm learning stuff, it's like I don't remember what was being taught. I remember the spirit in which it was being taught. You know, like, were you cultivating curiosity? Were you cultivating confidence? You know, I remember back when I was in college, I had a football coach. And this dude killed both. He killed both curiosity and confidence, right? I'm not saying it's his responsibility to make me feel more confident or to make me more curious, but if I came to him with the desire to be great or to be the best I could be, you know, why are you going to turn? So let me give you two things, right? So when I tried playing ball in college, two things happened, right, that I noticed. One, the playbook they gave me wasn't the real playbook. It was like some scraps. It was like maybe like 1/3 of the playbook. Like, when I got my playbook, I looked at some other people's playbook, or not even looked at, I just saw the size of they shit. Like, they shit was like this. My shit was like this. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, what that's telling me is you don't want me on your team. Like, you don't want me trying out, you know? But I remember I was busting my ass doing drills. I'm getting up 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning for spring workouts. I'm the first one in, last one out. I'm lifting weights way more than I weigh. You know, I'm eating all this food, trying to gain weight so I could, like, you know, make the team. And I remember the first time I went up to my coach, like, I went up to him because I had an actual genuine question on a formation or like a certain route or whatever. And the way I asked him, like, I was so like respectful. I was so like sincere because I was really trying to learn like this formation or learn like this route. This dude, like, the way he looked at me was like, he looked at me like I told him to go fuck off. Like that's the way he looked at me. And then he dismissed me and was like, what did he say? He's like, yeah, son, yeah, I'm busy right now. I'm like, all right. I mean, you didn't look busy 5 minutes ago, motherfucker, but okay, whatever. You know, little things like that. You know what I'm saying? So that killed my curiosity. And then when I would say the way like he took away from my confidence is, well, that in and of itself did both. You know, that in and of itself did both. You know, so now when you look at education and learning now, what I'm looking at now, and this is just me, you know, tripping right now, because like as you guys know, it's called Trippin with Theobold. I trip in speech and thought, so I'm about to trip in thought right now. To me, physically going to school is a waste of time and detrimental to people's health. It's like, what's the point? Like, if you got teachers that's gonna kill confidence and kill curiosity, right? And then you got motherfuckers bringing guns to school and shooting kids up. What's the point? Like, that shit is counterproductive. It's like, I'm an engineer, you know? So I think about what problem are we trying to solve? And I look at how we are going about solving certain problems. So here's the thing, right? Is I get it, you know what I'm saying? Is you want to go to school to have social interaction with other people. I get that part, right? But you can do some other shit to encourage or have some other things that deal with social activity away from school, right? My thing is with education in school, it's like, me personally, I'd rather have all my classes taught online or in a video to where I don't have to interact with a teacher, right? And here's why. The reason I think this way is because when you interact with a teacher, right, you now have to like get into the psychology of, does this person have my best interest at heart? And that's a waste of fucking time. You know, like, I don't have time to be a psychologist or to get into the psyche of teachers to discern whether they want me to learn this shit or not, you know? And I know a lot of y'all thinking, well, shit, why do you care? Just learn what you want to learn. Nah, there's a big difference, right? There's a big reason why you need to be concerned about the psyche of the person teaching you. And do they have your best interest at heart? Because if they're going to take away from your confidence and your curiosity, that's going to affect how you learn what you learn. And it's going to put up a role. Let me give you an example, right? Off the cuff, right? I had a piano teacher back when I was in middle school, and I wanted to really learn to play the piano, right? I really wanted to learn how to play the piano, man. You know, so I had a teacher, and before class or for every class, she would give me articles to read, you know, and I had to take those home and read the articles and play and work on the songs to play. So the class was only about a half hour long, and it became about whether I read this article or not. And I'm like, look, I'm not coming here to read. I'm coming here to learn how to play the piano. You know what I'm saying? So while I was there, she was basically, it was one of those things where I could tell by her attitude that she didn't really want to teach me, but she wanted the check. She wanted the money, you know? And if reading the articles was such a big deal for me, she had to explain to me why she wanted me to read the articles. And she didn't. It was busy work, right? She had no plan for my success, right? She didn't help me envision what success looked like. So I would go home and work on the songs and practice the songs. And I'm trying to get to the part where I'm trying to play so she can, like, you know, correct me on what I'm doing wrong with the songs. But we got hemmed up on the articles. And it wasn't even about, and I know people can say, oh, well, maybe she was trying to stimulate your curiosity. Okay, yeah. If that's the case, show me why I need to read these articles and how this is going to help me play the piano. Right. So, and so like, long story short, I think she either dropped me or something because I didn't read. I was like, man, whatever, you know. And my mom overheard the joint. Like, she actually like snuck into school and she overheard like the conversation, and she was like, yeah, she's not. Yeah, like what she's doing is helping us because she's not really helping you right now. She's killing your confidence. She's killing your confidence, and like she's not right. Excuse me. Right. So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, that was a pure. So had I had another teacher that was more engaging or that was able to connect with me better, and not kill my curiosity and confidence, I might still be playing the piano right now. That's why this shit is so important, you know? So I rather, in my perfect world, in my perfect utopia, I'd rather just do all my classes online. Like, I don't want the teacher to know what I look like. I don't want them to see me. I just want you to, if you can teach on a video and post a video of what you're teaching, I'll watch it. I'll learn it on my own. And if I have any questions, I'll put it in the comment section or I'll send you an email. But I don't want to sit around and like deal with the psyche of knowing if a teacher really wants me to learn something or not, you know? Like that's I don't got time for that. That's a waste of my fucking time, you know? So I think that schools would be way more efficient if everyone just learned from home. You know what I'm saying? Now I get it. You got to do some labs. You got to have some hands-on things. But for classroom teaching, that shit should be done remote from home. You know, it should be done. That's just my opinion. I really feel strongly about that because now you take away the element of a teacher potentially trying to take away from a student's confidence and curiosity. Now it's neutral, right? Now, granted, you might have some students or you might have some teachers that you know, are great with that. Like, for example, I was blessed to have Miss Jones, you know, and Mr. Albright, you know, but it's like those teachers are far and few, you know? So to me, to err on the side of caution, I'd rather do all my classes online, you know, or video chat or whatever that shit is, and let me worry about my own confidence and my own curiosity. But if I got to fight against someone trying to break down my confidence and my curiosity, that's double. That's like multiple times worse, because not only am I struggling to learn what it is they want me to learn, now it's like I might not even care or have the confidence to even fight through to learn the things that are tough when I need to learn them, you know? So I'm always going to be a fan of protecting curiosity and confidence. And to me, that's one way to do it, you know? Yeah, before I go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff. But, you know, it is what it is, man. Curiosity and confidence. Look, let me give you another example, right? So you see this setup right now right? I got OBS, you know? Well, what if I went into a classroom and I had someone physically teach me how to do this, right? And what if they didn't want me to learn this shit? What if they were like, you know, for whatever reason, they're struggling with whatever they're struggling with, and they don't want me to learn it for whatever reason, you know? And I'm driving to this class every day, like, you know, I'm giving it my all, and they're teaching me all these things that have nothing to do with what I want to do in the end. Where would this channel be right now? And where would this be right now? Right? It probably wouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I knew what problem I was trying to solve, I know what I'm trying to do, I just said, okay, let me see what tools are available and let me go ahead and like play around with this to see if I can get it the way I want to get it. And right now, it's not exactly the way I want it to be, but it's kind of what I want it to be. You know, it's kind of like that TV show, the Great American, what's that? The Greatest American Hero, or the Great American Superhero. Well, I forgot it's a 80s TV series, but basically it's a teacher that gets abducted by aliens, and then they give him a superpower suit, and then he loses the instruction manual, and each episode is him learning how to use the suit better and better. But he starts off, you know, not knowing how to even do anything with the suit, but as the episodes go on, he learns and gets better, but he never perfects it, you know. And that's a brilliant idea for a show. But same thing with this, right? End of the day, I'm converging towards perfection, but I'm never going to be perfect, and I can accept that. But if I would have had someone tell me, oh, or if I had someone like do little slick shit to try to mess with my confidence or my curiosity, you know, I wouldn't be this far. I wouldn't have this, you know? So is what it is, you know? So I know, like I said, I went off on the deep end a little bit, and I know there are teachers out there doing great work, but I'm all about like efficiency and protecting, you know, the mind and the dreams of the kids, you know what I'm saying, in the future. Because you never know. You might have a genius in, like, who knows? Like, I may have been a genius. I'm not saying I'm a genius, but who knows? I might have had the capability, or I might have been a genius, you know, and I might have been able to solve like some kind of world sickness, right? But the fact that I had to deal with some teachers, and the fact that, you know, they may or may not have, or they may have, you know, tampered with my curiosity and my confidence, I might be like, man, fuck that shit. I don't want to waste my time with that. And I could have been like, that's not just for me, that's for everybody, you know? So I'm all about like trying to preserve that and protect that for the future moving on. You know, like, I don't want to sound all preachy, but I'm just telling you how it is, you know? I'm just telling you how things are from my perspective, you know? Let me get a little snack right quick. So as you guys see, I had to get one of my little seaweed snacks. Yeah. A little something to hold me over. These things pick up moisture pretty fast. I just took it out the pack, and these joints got moist. There we go. Got a crunchy one. I get to wash it down with some of this green tea. But yeah, like I said, now the way I approach learning anything now is I'm very aggressive. You know, if there's something I want to learn, there's a reason why I'm trying to learn it, and I already know in my mind what I'm trying to do with it. Like, I'm not just learning shit to be learning shit. Like, I ain't got time for that. You know? What did she say? Yeah. Yeah, I got some too. Yeah, I got some too, man. Them little seaweed snacks be hitting, man. Them joints is alright. Cause I don't be eating my veggies like that. So anything green, I guess, is veggies and shit, you know. So I eat that to add to my veggie intake. But I'm very aggressive and very passionate about when it comes to me learning something. Like, if I learn something, and if I have to go to somebody to learn something, I'm already thinking to myself, I'm already thinking to myself, what's in it for the other person to teach me what it is they want to teach me. What obstacles am I going to possibly face while learning or teaching this person? if I get to see this person teach other people, you know, are they going to expose them to other things that I'm not getting exposed to? And if so, why? Like, I try to, you know, I just get into the psyche of all that because at the end of the day, it's like I have to learn how to just focus on what I'm going there to learn. Like, I'm going there for information, right? I'm trying to learn something to do something. And if a teacher is going to hinder that process, I have to have a way to discern that quickly and then get the fuck out of the class, right? Like, that's my advice to all students, yo. Like, if you're in a class and, you know, if there's no syllabus, or if you see, basically it's like, if you have to be defensive when it comes to your education, you know, like if they're putting up roadblocks for you to learn something and those roadblocks are unnecessary, like I said earlier, man, just drop the fucking class, get the fuck out, don't waste your time, you know. And don't be afraid to tell a teacher that, you know. Like, back when I was in school, I was a little scared Negro, you know. I was like, oh shit, I'm like, man, I don't want to piss the teacher off, because if I piss her off, I might get a C. Man, fuck that, man. I'm like, man, fuck them, you know. Like, you gotta have that mindset of, look, I'm coming here to learn. I'm coming here to take something, because I'm paying you to teach me something. And if you're not gonna give me what I'm paying for, get the fuck on, you know. Like, don't be like, I'm not saying to advertise it, but if you can see the bullshit, just get the fuck out. When they ask you, just be like, man, she's hindering my learning process, and I don't have time for that right now. Right? She's taking my, or they're taking my money, because it could be he or she, right? Teachers, you know, like, you guys get the point. And what does it say? I left mine out. No good. Make sure you seal them up tight. Yeah, nah, them seaweed joints, man. If you leave them out, they will look like some shit that came from the ocean. Right? That's why you gotta, yeah, these things, you can't leave these out. It's gonna turn to old salad. But like, be aggressive with, like, that's why I like Udemy and all the online courses. I like all the online shit, because them motherfuckers can't see me. They can't see me. I just go download a video and I get what I can get from it. It's all about just getting the information. And if I have to ask a question, or if I want to know something, there's a forum or a chat I can put it in, and they don't know what I look like. Right? Isn't that a shame? Like, it shouldn't matter what you look like if you're trying to learn something. But when you in school and you dealing with that shit, we humans, right? So it is what it is, man. You know? But in conclusion, like I said, man, curiosity and confidence, man, feed that shit. Right? There's a quote in one of Little Brother's songs. What song is that? What album is it? Make sure I give Little Brother a shout out. One of my favorite rap groups. Let me see if I can find it right quick. I don't want to play it because I don't want to get a strike on my channel. Well, it's not my channel because it's not my platform, but you guys get the point. Here we go. Little Brother. It's from that. What album is it from? Is it from May the Lord? No, it's from my bad. It's from Fonte's album, I think. My bad. It's from Fonte's album, Fonte's solo album. Here it is. Yeah, it's from No News is Good News. Dope album, man. So it's either after track 1, to the rescue, or after the So Help Me God track. There's like a mantra, and it just goes on, and it's The mantra is, you're only as old as your ability to learn new information. You're only as old as you, I'm messing it up right now. You're only as old as your ability to learn new information. You're only as old as your ability to learn new information, right? So curiosity, confidence, feed that shit, grow, be great. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the DFS portion of the show where I talk some DFS talk. So baseball is back in effect. I'm going to do something different. All right. So for the I'm not going to do my picks all on here because it takes too much time. I know y'all got shit to do. I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to bore y'all and give away all my goodies or give away all my secrets. But here's what I will say. All right. I'm going to do two things, right? I'm going to cover DFS for baseball and basketball, NBA, MLB. I'm going to give you a strategy. I'm going to give you a strategy that I used the day before that failed. And I'm going to tell you a strategy that I'm using now. And I'm going to give you one pick that I picked using that strategy. So that way we can be efficient and get out of here so I can keep this under an hour. All right. So here we go. So let me actually pull up my MLB. Let me actually pull up some Line Star right quick. Line Star, man. Let me go ahead and pull this up and show so I can go ahead and talk this right quick. So here we are. Let me go to MLB. Let me actually put this on the transition. There we go. Boom. That's that. Let me actually blow this up so y'all can see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about it. So let me put that there. Let me actually move this over a little bit. I'm gonna make it bigger. There we go. All right. I think that's good enough for now. And then let me go to my tiers, right? Cause all I mess with are tiers, right? So I don't do the traditional DFS until it's football season, because that's where you get the big bucks. But here we go. All right. So yesterday, let me tell you what I did yesterday, and failed miserably. I think I put up. I didn't fail miserably. I put up. I think first place put up 75 fantasy points. I put up 33 fantasy points. But here's what I did. All right. So let me actually go back to my tiers. I did the Pick'em 5 challenge. Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Here we go. There we go. Let's go to scored. All right. So yesterday for tier 6, Trent Grisham for the Padres won tier 6. So what I did was, so I gotta sneeze. Hold on a second. No, I don't. So yesterday, I believe I went with, who did I go with? Yesterday I went with Javier Baez, for the Tigers. And here's why I went with Javier Baez. I went with him because, let me see something real quick. Yeah, so I went with him yesterday because my theory, the method I used was, I'm just trying to get double digits. I'm just trying to get double digit points. I don't care. Right now, I'm just trying to get all double digit points where possible. So I looked at his history or his historical matchup versus the Blue Jays, because that's who they're playing right now. They're playing the Blue Jays. So I looked at his historical matchup and I said to myself, okay, his last 2 games, he put up single digits, 4 and 0. And then when you look at all of his double digit scoring games against Toronto, right? There was, he went 10-3-10. So basically I wanted to see how long he went on a streak where he just scored single digits, right? So he put up So right now he's at 2. And then I looked at the number of single digit scores between double digit scores. And I said, you know what? It seems like he's about due for a double digit scoring game. Because if you look at his historical data, right? He doesn't go. Well, one time he went 3 games between scoring double digits, right? When you look at August 18th, and in between August 18th and June 11th of, that's a long ass gap though. That's from 2017 to 2022. But if you look at that, still it's like 3 games, right? And then I said to myself, okay, he's playing at Toronto in the yellow, meaning that it's medium competition, right? So if he's playing against medium competition, how does he do against medium competition? And I said, okay, July 31st, as you guys can see right there, he put up 16 double digits. And then in yellow at home versus Toronto, he put up 11. I said, man, I'm going to take my chances with that. And what did he do? He put up 5 fantasy points, right? Not bad, but not good enough because Trent Grisham was the one that did it. So if you apply that same logic, Trent Grisham had 2 single digit scoring games between double digit scoring games. Then he had 3 from May 24th to June 2nd of 2022. So that wasn't a bad pick. And then let's look at he was in the yellow yesterday at home versus Milwaukee, right? So I think I stayed away from him because I saw even the May 23rd at home, 10 points, not bad, you know? So I could have went there, but the one thing I did look at though is with all the people that won their tiers, at least from tiers 3 through 6, they were all increasing, right? So you see here from Milwaukee, on June 4th, June 5th, on June 4th and June 5th, he was increasing. So he was trending up, right? And when you're looking at this data, the one thing that's real tricky about looking at Line Star data is you see the comments or you look at the number of dislikes.